Hi folks, this is Rose from Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a necklace using the beads from our December Bargain Bead Box Earthen Elegance. It's going to be a little tricky, so this may be a longer video. So I hope you enjoy making it with me, and let's turn down and start it. Okie dokie. First thing is, this is going to be a pendant necklace. We are going to use our donut as part of the pendant. These beads are all actually for the beaded necklace portion. Now, from my stash, I've got a couple of spacer beads. Those are going to go with this bead. And then this is going to go down here. Well, I take that back. This is going to go down here with the little shield piece below it. This is going to go up here with these pieces on either side. And then these pieces are going to wire wrap through so hopefully these little guys will go on our wire. Well, let's test them, see if they will. If they won't, we're going to have to leave them out because, well, I don't want to use smaller wire than 20 gauge, which is what this is. No, they're not going to go on, unfortunately, so we'll take these little babies out, back out. Which is a pity because they would have been cute. These will go on though, that's good. Go up there, baby. And they'll go through the middle of our donut like so. The little ones would have gone on either side of these. This might be plenty though. So what we're going to do first, this wire is probably much longer than I need. It was a scrap piece that was in my drawer that I had not used for something else. It's a little over, it's almost 13 inches. But what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take two of our bicones, put on this, since we can't put our little tiny beads in, since they won't fit. We want to bring this in here. You know what? I think I'm going to get a couple of tiny spacers and not to put between these two, so I will be right back. Okay, I've got a couple of these. This is going to go between this one, but we'll put this one in here. We're going to go down quite a ways because we're going to do some loops around our donut here. So we'll put our first one in, and then we're going to want to, come on baby, bend that around. And this one as well, and up around to the top. Then we're going to feed it through the donut. Come on, baby. There we go. Uh-oh, what we do here? Oh, I think we crossed the wires. We don't want to do that. Sort of like Ghostbusters, you know, we don't want to cross the streams. So let's see if we can get that to straighten out. It crooked up quite a bit as it came through. But flat pliers, come here. Want to straighten that up some if we can. So, oop, you go back in that pile. Okie dokie, that's pretty, back to being pretty straight now. Now we need to do the same with the other side because we want a wire on either side of our one with the beads. So down we go, baby. Now that's going to put, it looks like 4, but it's not because this piece is going to actually stay here. And I see I have more wire than I needed. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to bring these together. Just going to tighten this up as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is bring this down here a ways more, but then we're going to turn it so it goes towards the center. We're going to do the same with this one because we want these two to come together right here. One from the front, one from the back. Okay, then we're going to wrap the shorter one a couple of times around the longer one. Actually, there's enough wire here on this one. I actually probably could have wrapped with the large one and then cut it off and used the extra, but I didn't. So, too late to worry about it now, right? Because now we're going to trim this off right here. Tuck this extra wire in. Oops, that didn't want to tuck. Straighten this up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put on this magma rondelle, slide it up, then we're going to make a loop right here and hook on our little shield piece. So we want to do going to want our shield to go this way, so we want to make our bend to go up this direction. We'll get our bell making pliers out, use our small, hold it right here, go up and around, bring her down, bring her around, leaving an opening so that you can slide your piece on there. So, because we want it to be forwards when it goes around, we go feed it backwards. And I fed it the wrong way, so we'll turn it over. There we go. Now we're going to hold our wires together here, where they come together, and we're going to wrap it. And it looks like I made a much bigger bend than I needed to because we didn't need that much wrapping down the side there. but we do have it, so now we'll cut off our extra wire here and straighten anything up that needs straightened. Tighten things up some. Be careful I don't break those bicones on the front as I tighten the back up here. And there's the bottom part of our pendant. Now we need to do the top part. Now since I had 13 inches, if this wire had been more like 6 or 7, I would have gone ahead and used it for the top piece. But it's only 5. So it's going to go into my scrap bin. And I am going to get about a 7-inch piece from my spool here. So this has a sharp edge, so I'm going to trim it off just in case we get to the end here. And we need 6 or 7 inches. Though probably not that many because we did trim off a relatively good sized piece on the other side. But irregardless, now we're going to do more or less the same thing, because what we're going to do here is we're going to wrap the top part the same as the bottom part here, but then when we get up here, instead of putting this bead and then the shield in, we're going to put in this, and then we're going to make we're going to hardwire it onto this bell. Those babies out of the way. This is all part of the stringing, as I mentioned earlier, over here. Don't want to get it all mixed up with this stuff. So let's start our wire wrap. So firstly, of course, we go through here, and we want close to the middle. Let's bend her over. I think we'll just put the beads right here on this one. This is the shorter one. Up it goes so it can go up onto there. Come on, you guys, go over that bump. I put a bend in here, a slight bend in here where we want the bend to go across the donut, and the beads now don't want to go over it. Okie dokie, now that we've got those in, we can bring this wire around. Then we want to make sure that this one is tight before we go around with it, and it's going to go through the hole. If you need to, take hold of the very end with your pliers to give you some more oomph to pull that through. You don't want to get up there too high though, because frequently when you play with pliers with your wire, you will bend it or you'll mar it some. And when that happens, it just isn't that pretty. You don't want to do that if you can help it. So see, this one has a weird wonky bend in it here. So we want to get that tight as we can. I'm going to take my flat nose and just give it a little push down. So this is our bottom piece here, going to be our bottom piece here, or upper piece as the case may be. And then this piece is going to go through here, just like we did the other side. Oops, pulled on the wrong one. Oh, that one was bagging. I'm wanting to get this central one a little tighter because it's got, see the bend up there? I don't want that to do that. Though it might be doing it because of the bicones are holding it up, the wire up, which I hadn't thought about that, but it probably is. Okay, now that we've got this done, we're going to do the same thing here as we did there, and that is we're going to bend this way a little bit, and then this one this way, and we're going to wrap this one wire around the other. This one should be straight. Where's my... Normally I would do this with my fingers, but when I just did it, there, that very tippy tip there was a little bent enough to make it be a little bit sharp. And you don't want to cut yourself with your wires. So I'm going to hold this right here as much as I can. Then we're going to wrap this baby around here. There we go. That's sufficient. Over there. Trim this off and tuck it in. Okay, now that we have that in, I'll try to get it a little straighter. There we go. Now we put on our spacer, our cream bead, and a spacer. Now we're going to hook it to the bail. Since the bail is facing this direction, we want our loop to go this direction as well rather than this direction. So we'll bend it towards us. Use the small bell maker. Drop that into there. Wrap it around, bring her down. Come across, leaving a little gap so that you can put your bail in. Oh, I didn't even it. Now, this one doesn't matter which way it goes in, so just feed her in. Snap her into place. And then you'll hold this with your pliers right as where the connection is. And this time I'm going to use my extra pair of pliers to wrap. Oops, we're bending. I can feel it. Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely bent. We're going to have to straighten that out quite a bit, aren't we? So. Okay, so we're going to trim that extra wire off right there. Tuck that in. Now, as soon as we get things all straightened up here, our pendant is finished. Okay. Okay, the pendant one is a little bit turned, so we're going to hold down here and turn it so where we want it. That's better. Straighten it a little bit more. Okay. Now, as you can see, these aren't real tight, so because they're sliding. They're not going to come off, of course, but they do want to slide. So we got to make sure that we keep them pretty good, and we may want to see about tightening them. And the way to tighten one of these wires is to put your pliers into either side and just give them a twist. Well, if you can get in there decently, that is. Well, that one's much tighter now there. Now we need to get this bottom one tightened a little bit. So we'll, like I say, we just separate our wires a little bit here since they're right beside each other. See if we can't get hold of one of them and give it a twist. Still pretty. So there is our pendant piece. And we can set that aside until we need it. But she's all done. So the next thing we want to do is start stringing our beads. And since I don't know how much wire I'm going to want, I'm going to get just so much off here, and then I'm going to work from the middle of my necklace rather than try to do it from end to end. There's one of my crimp tubes. Thought I saw the other one, but oh, there's all these fun things I'm putting up here are ending things, like the jump rings that hang the lobster claw on, and the extender chain, and I'm trying to find my other I think this third one was because I was debating if I was going to hardwire it or jump ring it, and I just hardwired it onto its bail. Well, I'm not finding our, oh, there it is. I was going to say I'm not finding my other crimp tube, but there it is. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to have we're going to start right here at this side here with a bicone, and then a spacer, this one feels like it had something jammed into it. Let's get it out if we can. Yeah. So then a rondelle. And then we're just going to put the, stop swinging your beads out of the way here, onto the pendant. That's how it's going to sit there. Then we'll do another small. This one also has something in it. A lot of times you can see that looks like a little bit of greenery or something. It's when they antique things, they smooth them out by running them through like a rotary tumbler kind of thing. It's not, but it's sort of that same premise. And with grain in it, a hard grain, which then sometimes gets up into the. So now from here, we're going to put on a jasper, 2 of the bigs. Come here, you. 1, 2. 1 of the cream barrels. 1 too big again. These guys, the big jasper barrel. Too big. The cream. Too big. And the jasper. This one's a cool one. Look at the patterning on that. Isn't that neat? Oh, good thing that was on there. So now we're going back to a small, a bicone, a small magma mat, melon, bicone, small, small, bicone, melon, small bicone, small. There we go. Let's see if I got that. Yep. Okay, now we're going to put on another one of these small jasper. Then we're going to get 2 bigs. A large jasper. 2 bigs. Cream. 2 bigs. The large jasper again. 2 bigs. The smaller jasper. And then 1 small. So far this is what we've got. And I'm going to put a bead stopper on here, and then I'm going to make sure that I've got all the beads for the other side going here so that I don't use some I shouldn't use. So of course, in order to do that, what I want to do is get one of my little trays out, and we'll go down the row of what we need here. So there is this pattern, but we need to get our dividers as well. So we need a small right here at the beginning, then 2 bigs, 2 bigs, 2 more bigs, and a small. Okay, there's this section here. Now we need 3 magmas here. Now that we've got them divided up, we can finish this side up. It's not got that much left to go. So this pattern right here. So we want the bicone, the small, the magma, the melon, the bicone, small, magma, small, bicone. I think we're here at the magma again. I mean at the melon again. Let's see. We've got bicone. Right here. So that's this side done. I'm going to slide the beads over here, and we're going to check to see how long that is. Okay, it's as long as I was hoping it was, because we're just going to here in our measurements, and that is a little over 9 inches. So this is going to end up being a little over 18 inches, maybe close to 19 when it's finished being strung. And then we have an extender chain for anybody who wants it to be longer. See, right here is our extender chain. And I believe it's 3 inches, maybe 4. It's a little over 3, about 3.5. So that gives, if we have it at 19, that would give it to be 22. So let's get this other side strung up, and then we'll finish her up. So you can either dump this out of here, which I find easier, or we could have worked out of there, but, well, first we have to cut our string, or our wire, I should say. So what we want to do is get the middle down here, and then we want to go up our wire, and get approximately the same amount out that's on the other side, which is about right where I've got it sitting here. So we'll cut this wire right here, and then we can put the spool aside. And now we're going to start stringing this other side up. So we need a small to start with, then our jasper. I'm going to go with this one because it's pretty. 2 large. Cream. 2 more large. The large barrel. 2 large. The cream. 2 large. And one of the smaller ones again. And then a small. Because right now we're going to go into this pattern right here. And we're just going to keep going up the same the whole way. So now that we've got it all strung, let's measure the main body of it here, the strung part. And as I said, it was going to be 9, so it's about 9 1/4. So that would be about 18 1/2. Once we get the lobster claw on, it's going to be probably more like 19 to 20. So let's feed our one through here, and then we'll just go down the line, and we're going to just put our wire through our crimp, decide about where we want it to be as far as tightness up here is concerned. And then we'll get our crimping pliers out and crimp this one piece. Now I use the magical crimpers. They have a divot in it. You put your crimp right in the middle and squish, and then you turn it, put it back in and squish, and continue to do that around in a circle till it no longer squishes. So then tug test, and it seems to be good. Now we're going to see if this wire will go back through some of these beads. If it won't, we're going to have to cut it off, but hopefully it will. It's going through just fine. So We'll let it roll over to that side. And then we are going to crimp this side. All right, where'd we do with our other little crimp tube? There it is. Now I've cut a lot more wire than I actually needed. As you can see, I probably have a good 3 or 4 inch tail here. And I would rather have a tail than not enough than a really short spot to try and crimp in. It's very difficult to crimp when you don't have very much wire. So I forgot to put the jump ring in there, but it doesn't matter as long as I leave a small loop here for it to go into. That needs to be a teeny bit smaller so that it'll more or less match the other side. So now that we've got that done, let's get our crimping pliers in here and crimp this one. Give it a tug. Seems to be good. Now we'll cut this extra cord, this extra beading wire off. There we go. And now the next step is simply to take our jump rings and hook the extender chain to one side and our lobster claw to the other. We only need one of these, like I said, because we did not use our jump ring to put it on the bail, but put it straight onto it. So let's get these open, the jump rings open, and put on these pieces. So since I've already got this one knot done, let's see. We will open it up and put the jump ring on here. Excuse me, this is the jump ring in my hand. This is the lobster claw. Come on, baby, go on there. You were just on and then you fell back off. Then we'll take this end that we didn't put the jump ring in and put her across. Let's make sure she closed all the way. That's looking good. Now we'll open up the jump ring that's in this other side here and put on the extender chain. And tighten that up. And she is done. There we go. And there she is. Isn't that cool? So we will measure that and see how long it ends up being. Again, now that we've got our pieces all finished, and our lobster claw and such on. So the lobster claw comes to making it be about 10 inches, which would make it be 20. Then with our extender chain we can get to 22, 23 inches. So there is our finished necklace. Isn't that pretty? I would have liked to have been able to put these little garnets in here, but they said no. But now that I've gotten them tightened up, they're staying pretty well in place there. So there we go. There's the back of it. It's a little bit wonky where we pulled the sides out to make the bins, but hey, that's the back, so no problem. So there we go. There is our pendant and style necklace using our December Bargain Bead Box Earthen Elegance. Looks like I have my little pendant a little bit crooked there. There we go. That's much better. And there's the pendant. Here's our beaded portion. Our little extender chain hanging down here. Isn't that pretty? I really like the way this one turned out, especially the beaded portion. I really like these jasper and the cream and stuff together. I think they look really pretty. So anyway, this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we have been using the December Bargain Bead Box Earthen Elegance to make this lovely necklace. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.